interesting back and forth here in game number 2.
Something that we have to consider as well, what is the build coming in for Badang? It looks like we're going in for a pause here, so now we can start to talk about the build, because, oh, never mind, we're not pausing. Anyways, Badang, usually in terms of professional play, going for that tankier build. I feel like no matter what build you're getting, you usually get the Thunderbelt first, because it's just unfair how fast Badang stacks that Thunderbelt. But then after that, do you go for damage, do you go for defense? Usually professionally people go for defense though.
Yeah, I think it would make sense. If he wants to go for damage, that means Perxiva might have to think about what he wants to build as a second item. I mean, he's already working with very few resources to begin with. But at this point, Dumb Ice is the real big question here. Let's look at the emblems real quick. He goes for tenacity. He's not looking to win out that lane too much. He basically just wants to farm support emblems as well. I mean, that's the atypical way of building Badang nowadays. But even so, anything else that catches your eye?
No, honestly, looking at the build here, this does look like the cooldown build for Badang, where you're just trying to be as disruptive as you can. So first item is going to be that Thunderbelt, but then afterwards, you go for cooldown items. We're talking about Dominance Ice as well as Oracle, and even going for cooldown boots. So what this does is just, you're going to interrupt the front line, mainly Gabe as well as Nino, so that even though they want to stay in the front line for as long as they can, now they're going to get punished. So I feel like this is the idea for Blacklist International, letting JM Pikmin actually deal with the front line, and then giving some space for both MP and maybe even Perxiva to go directly to the back line.
Another thing I noticed is that Heise has been consistently, both on Claude and even with his Granger, he likes to actually pick up a bit of vitality for himself, right? He's not thinking about like having added penetration or even movement speed at that point. He just wants to survive the lane and knows that he will scale. But here comes the first interaction, first potential big team fight here from both AE and Blacklist International as they fight for the space and are positioning against each other. But it looks like Black is going to just let this through. MP is nowhere close, and AE running forward for Perxiva. They even got the curtain call, jumps a little too far forward. Appraiser's Wrath does come out, but Haji is getting so much value as the fist crack keeps Gebe in place. Pinkman might be trading his life for hire here as MP is not bothered by this whatsoever, wants to develop an EXP lead for himself first before anything else.
Yeah, definitely a mistake by Alterego. Considering that you already got a turtle, Roundel was able to get out. That was close, Gideon.
That was too close. Way too close. But do go on, because at this point, with this EXP lead that we see from MP, I'm feeling like it's happening all over again. Blacklist International, you know, sacrifice the first neutral objective. So what? The next couple is going to be really brutal.
It looks like they got a kill onto Haji. That's amazing, especially because he goes over to Highs. So now they're recovering a little bit. My concern was that Alterego, after getting the turtle, they really don't have to go for that fight. And we got to talk about what were the consequences. The consequences was Gabe died, and between a Fredrin and a Suyo, the Suyo farms so much faster compared to a Fredrin. And this we can see in terms of the differences in terms of level. Gabe now recovering a little bit, he's level 6, but MP is level 7. So it's just something that you have to consider. You do want to fight. You don't want to fight that aggressively.
Well, speaking about fighting, the Zama Force has been popped out. Same goes for the Circling Eagle, forcing Outplayed in deeper into his turret side, but that being said, Alterego, look at Highs, right? He's got that level lead onto Outplayed. I can only assume that he also has a gold lead as well. I think now Alterego pivoting their plan a little bit more. It was all around Highs in the first place, but now they're going to double up his farm, giving him double waves from both mid and bot side.
Yeah, honestly, this is a very good rotation coming in from Alterego. Rotating towards gold lane. You don't have to get a kill. You just have to clear the minion so fast that he can get out of the lane and then get mid. This is a very good idea coming in from Alterego. Roundel not getting maximum value in terms of his gold, but still, as a Farsa, you can do enough damage even without items.
And not to mention that Nino has been leaving the lane first. And Haji with the, he is locked down. He can't do anything. He even tries to flicker him out, but the curtain call says no. At the same time, the turtle is currently being taken, but Perxiva is able to zone out enough for the turtle to be stolen by MP. At this point, who's winning off on these trades? As much as the turtle goes down, more battle spells were being blown by Blacklist International.
I would say Blacklist is still winning a little bit here because in terms of scale, they're actually doing quite good. But now a fight breaks out and Roundel gets punished. Persiva is very low, but Alter Ego can't go in to finish out the fight.
Yeah, we don't get to see this very often. Like, again, JM Pikmin, he was late overall for that rotation, but it doesn't really matter. They still are able to find value in him and even get a bot tier 1 at the same time. The recovery after the neutral objective from Alter Ego seems to continue to bleed them out economic-wise.
And now it looks like Persiva has to get away. But actually, I want to entertain your question a little bit because Blacklist International, in terms of damage, they actually scale quite well. But Alter Ego, oh, hold on, MP goes on to Nino. Nino still able to survive. Haji maybe want to try to get a kill onto Nino here. Even JM Pikmin, looks like they are going to go away. Current call being used just to give extra damage onto JM Pikmin. But they actually want to continue this.
I mean, they're trying to press the advantage underneath the tier 1 without the minions. They were getting Highs pretty close because, again, they've swapped the lanes at this point of time. Highs wants to be on this top side. He wants to actually participate in these fights. At this point, I think that even for Alter Ego, the big thing is whether or not Haji actually lands the Sanguine Claw. That's why he wants to participate in these fights. He's got a Sky Piercer already complete.
Oh yeah, that, like, if he's able to get 3 stacks, that would be GG, because Alter Ego, their draft here, Ronaldo really wants MP, but MP looks like he's able to get away. Again, a lot of dashes on the CEO. But anyways, they're going to be very, very tanky come late game. Having this Frederick alongside the Matilda, he will die, but he will die eventually, not instantly. So giving a lot of space for Roundel as well as High. So Highs just need 3 stacks, and honestly, he will deal enough damage for anyone.
Well, let's see. Blacklist International want to force this fight. They know that Mr. MP doesn't have his retribution. It's coming back up in 6 seconds, and Alter Ego unfortunately missed their timing to actually blitz it out. It's 3-level difference between Gebe and as well as MP as they fight for mid prio. Circling Eagle is to come on through. Feathered Airstrike has done good damage to Persiva and as well as outplayed, but even so, this back and forth just means that Alter Ego is trying to out-sustain them by outputting more damage and still living off of the sustain from Dreams. Raging Sandstorm lands onto 3 with a fist crack as well. It's going to be a save from the Vengeance as outplay flickering forward with the help of the Zaman Force, getting the damage down, but Jebe can eat shots for days.
Oh yeah, actually it's very impressive that Gebe is actually able to tank the damage coming in from a Harib, even though yes, not a lot of items yet on the Harib, but still, that's very, very impressive. But we can see Alter Ego now losing quite a bit going up against Blacklist International, where they're always aware against the movement, especially coming in from the Badang, because we saw him always trying to catch out Alter Ego, because that's basically the go sign for Blacklist International to go for fight. But once JM Pikmin doesn't get it, then it's on Persiva. So a lot of ways to engage the fight makes it so that Blacklist International has the better opening to actually engage onto Alter Ego, where Alter Ego is just waiting on Gebe.
I think Rondell was probably pretty convinced after the first time he got flickered on by JM Pinkman. He's like, nah, never again. I don't want this situation to happen to anybody else. We have to be aware of when Mr. JM Pinkman decides to rotate off of this map, because so far Nino has been doing a pretty good job in general, moving out of the lane first, forcing priority, and even locking down the correct targets, high priority targets like Haji in the middle, pre-building up to the fights.
This is very impressive, where the game is 8 minutes long, only 2 kills each, but Blacklist International is almost 3,000 gold ahead. Considering that they have scalers like the Harv as well as the Sicilian, this is all good news for them. Alter Ego can definitely still fight back because, again, the tankiness that you have as a Frederick with the Matilda, but if Alter Ego can't deal the damage, then it kind of doesn't matter.
Oh, here we go. The next fight actually finding Gebe is able to lock down 2, but they need to find the finisher here. Finally breaking the quicksand guard. Mr. Pinkman is going to take the damage from the curtain call, but outplayed. He needs to target just one person at a time. MP late to the fight, but the damage has been done, and it is going to sting as Alter Ego are able to claw their way back in. And I mean, while these fights, these picks are going through, MP maintains such a huge level lead against Gebe.
Oh yeah, he definitely needs it because he needs to find a way to kill Highs, because Highs right now has 2 stacks on that, or I guess 20 stacks, but you know, you understand. 2 stacks on that Sky Piercer, one more stack, and it's gonna be very, very difficult for Blacklist to handle this. But whole fist crack onto the team of Alter Ego. And Gambit still gets the Lord, but still shut down. MP gets onto highs. Alter Ego has to leave, but Nino taking a lot of damage. Outplay, finally getting that kill, even though JM Pinkman died there, but able to get Nino, but more importantly, they got high.
Oh, what a play coming in from Pinkman. He's getting so much value from this Badang. And I mean, unfortunately for Highs, he tried to go for the big outplay, flickering in the opposite direction, trying to throw them off guard, and then taking the guiding winds coming in from Dreams, but still, Blacklist International not dropping the beat just yet. They've got their eyes on Highs, and they gotta make sure that they can continue to punish and make sure those stacks are very, very low. They do lose out on this Lord, however, but still, I do believe that Blacklist International could potentially at least win this next upcoming fight.
But we can definitely see the instincts that MP has as an assassin player. The way that he flanks, he finds a way to get onto the marksman. And now Nino is 1v1ing against Outplay. Nino is actually doing quite well outside of the Power Force. And Nino is solo, but Outplay finally gets the kill. But Alter Ego, they're not stopping. They want to get this mid turret. They're able to get it. And now the Badang gets chunked down. Roundel gets the kill. Haji has to flicker back because he almost got taken down by Gibby.
Yep, MP cannot find any value in these fights. If he goes for these engages alongside Mr. J and Pinkman, he might just be another casualty of war. So they're just waiting for the right times. If they can catch Highs, that'd be ideal. If he's not caught, he's not going in. And AE just pumping up the gas here off of this Lord. I definitely thought that maybe Blacklist International could have looked for a potential fight down by the bottom side of the map, but they didn't want to take that angle. And now Alter Ego finally trying to claw their way back into the game, getting more map presence with the help of these tower falls. They get at least a foothold in the game.
We were discussing on the itemization for Roundel in game number 2 here. This time he goes for Blood Wings instead of going for more damage. Maybe it's probably the difference in terms of the hero because he does a lot of damage even without items. So even the Blood Wings will help him out in the damage, but he really needs to survive, especially going up against an assassin like Suyo. But we can definitely see a bit of a difference here when he's a little bit more tankier. Able to safely deal damage.
He is safely putting out the damage, right? And honestly, the times that he is disrupted, the fights are basically done for already. But Alter Ego trying to keep Blacklist International in place, keep them in their jungle, steal what you can, allow Gambit to actually catch up in that EXP because Mr. MP is already at level 15, doesn't need any more. And it's a scary sight, right? Because they just have to respect the space.
Haji's still scaling. I feel like all this while as he's protecting the lane, he's getting those stacks. But Roundel, before the fight even starts, he discourages Blacklist International to do anything. But something very scary here is that Blacklist International, look at the positioning here, especially by JM Pinkman. He's waiting for that flank. He's already in position where once Blacklist International sees Alter Ego's positioning, he can go all the way back.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, he's in a dangerous position here for Alter Ego.
It is. They really need Outplay to get to this Lord fast so that at least they can take advantage of his current positioning, right? He hasn't moved just yet, doesn't want to reveal himself, and Blacklist International are just trying to juggle this Lord to get him into that spot. But again, no priority. Outplay has to take the safe path. Here comes JM Pinkman. He's already by the orange buff.
Yeah, we can see Highs moving quite forward here. JM Pinkman is just waiting for the opportunity, and now it looks like he's gonna go in. Fist break onto the back, fist crack onto 2, but looks like they're able to get out of there. Haji gets taken down by Highs, and Gaby takes down JM Pinkman. MP secures the Lord, but now Alter Ego, they just want to go for the fight. Nino is chasing after Perxiva. MP is solo, he has to get out. Alter Ego, even though they were surprised, they were able to survive.
You know, hats off to Dream. That was a clutch circling Eagle, knocking up the follow-up from the side of Blacklist International. Both MP and Outplayed got hit by it. Were they able to close the distance? They could have potentially punished Highs or maybe even stopped Roundel from actually getting more shots from that feathered airstrike. Even so, with this being said, at least they were able to take the Lord away from Alter Ego so they can at least extend the game and maybe have another opportunity to fight.
Yeah, that must be very discouraging where your game plan actually succeeded, but you still failed. Looks like, even with the fist crack, somehow Highs as well as Dreams was able to get out of it. But now the Lord marching in, going for the mid lane. Alter Ego, they're the one that has to defend this. And with the Feather Airstrike used, already pushing Blacklist International away, and now the Lord has been taken care of.
Yep. He goes back to a very neutral state of the game. 5-8 is the current kill score. What used to be 2-2. Both sides refuse to just give up just yet. Oh, hold on. Ziva, he's getting chunked down here with the energy eruption already coming through. He has to use the Raging Sandstorm to bail back out. But now, honestly, now that we've come to the later stages of the game, it's tough to say who really scales harder. I would like to believe that Alter Ego's composition is better when it comes down to like just the raw scaling, and not to mention that they are playing with you know, the Fredrin as the main tank. That should be all right for them. But at the same time, the Badang kind of tips the balance just a little bit, and not to forget about Haji playing on Sicilian.
Honestly, Eden, that's a very good question. Who scales harder? And unfortunately, the answer cannot be a straight A or B, right? It has to be a bit dynamic, because you would imagine the Sicilian with the infinite scaling is going to be much better in the late game. However, we see somehow Highs able to kill him off in the middle of a fight. So if he dies off early, then whatever advantage that they have is basically gone. Roundel as well, being able to chunk them out so low before the fight even starts, does make it so that it's very much skewed towards Alter Ego's favor. Now, another thing is that the Badang looks like is going for a full defense build, which is the most popular build. But this is why I personally would like maybe just one damage item, just one Demon Hunter Sword, so that even without a follow-up, you would deal significant amount of damage. But yeah, just to answer you in terms of who has the better late game here, on paper it should be Blacklist. But I feel like the range advantage makes it look like Alter Ego has the better late game.
Oh wait, hold on. They're right on top of Haji here. They use the circling eagle and even pop the feathered airstrike as well to deter them. Alter Ego with 2 big ults already down. Probably don't want to take the Lord just yet. They're looking for position and they want to correct their waves. Nino gonna be on that top side, probably wants to correct that wave as well. But Blacklist International, I want to see how they want to approach this fight. They don't have the JM Pinkman flank anymore.
Oh yeah, looks like there is a slow push. Nah, it looks like the bottom lane is gonna be pretty even here. Persiva already very low, having to flicker out. And Gideon, you just said they already used the Feather Airstrike. In just a few seconds, it's back up. So Alter Ego, yes, they use their skills, but it looks like it's in such low cooldown that it's not that punishing.
Yep, they can just keep throwing it out time and time again. And luckily for Gebe, he can just keep sustaining. No, they're taking position here. Even with the conceal, Pinkman doesn't really want to go on top of Nino. It's just not worth his time. Coin flip, it's getting closer and closer here.
Yeah, and MP on that Suyo can burst with the Soul Sever, so not as strong as before, but definitely still one of the strongest in the game. And this is why we see a little bit of hesitation coming in from Gebe, because you understand that the Lord can't be taken. Oh, and now they just want to jump in.
Oh, they're jumping in pretty fast here. Even the Zombie Force are getting cut off pretty quickly as Haji ends up getting blown up by Nino. And now we see the turn around. James Pinkman tries his best, but Gebe has got the damage on with the Appraiser's Wrath, chunking out all 4 outplay by himself. With the help of Highs, will try his best, but there's just too many bodies. Alter Ego find the wipeout here. Don't even need the Lord, looking to end this game.
I mean, with 30 seconds, 20 seconds on the clock, they have a minion wave. They can definitely end this game right now. Looks like this is going to be 1-1. Alter Ego managing to win game number 2. And now, we got a game here, Gideon.
Woo, we got a series, pushing it to game number 3, Alter Ego. Really great stuff coming in from Nino.